In less than 5 minutes, I will show you how to make the perfect Nigerian jollof rice. This is a very authentic recipe that has never failed and will never fail. So even though you know how to make jollof rice naturally, you may still want to stick and watch this video to the end. Now, the first big step in achieving the perfect jollof rice is in your pepper mixture. You may want to notice the ratio of my tomato to my peppers. The peppers, which are shombo and tatashi, is more than the tomato. I didn't put a lot of fresh pepper because I don't like pepper, but you can increase the amount of fresh pepper you do. Now, don't ever forget your ginger and garlic. It is very important. We'll be using the most basic seasonings for this recipe because to make the perfect jollof rice, you don't really need too much seasoning. I forgot to mention that for this recipe, we are using the baked method for the pepper mix. Yes, of course, there are different methods to be used, like the frying method and the boiling method, but for this recipe, we'll be using the baking method. After placing my mix on my pan, I went in with my curry, my thyme and bay leaf. I didn't leave out my seasoning cubes. This is very, very important. I now sprinkled in some oil, some vegetable oil. And of course, that's all you need. No special seasoning added. I popped this into the oven to allow it to bake for some minutes. Now, our pepper mix is ready and dried up. It was now time to blend this into a smooth paste. Now, let's get this jollof rice started. In my pan, I added my vegetable oil, I added onions, I added curry powder, and I also added some bay leaves, and I added some dried thyme. We let this saute for a bit while stirring it. The reason for this is because we want to build the flavor of the jollof rice. So please, even if you're in a rush, please do not skip this step. It is very important. After 2 minutes, I went in with my tomato paste. Now, this is where the real patience begins. I fried this tomato paste for complete 8 minutes before introducing my pepper mixture. Add that fine pepper mix now. We are going to spend some time frying this pepper mix. That's why I say when you want to make the perfect jollof rice, you need a lot of patience. If you don't want to waste any time, you can make fried rice. But if you are making jollof rice, you need a lot of patience. Permit me to use this time to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Chef Amara, a young girl on YouTube sharing diverse recipes. So yes, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do well to do that. It is a means of supporting me always. Thank you. Notice the change in face of this tomato mix. It was now time to go in with all our seasonings. First was the knorr cubes. We now went in with our thyme and our curry. We stirred this for some time, and it was time to add our rice. I added a little meat stock to this mixture before going in with my rice. The meat stock I added was the meat stock I had lying in my freezer, but if you don't have meat stock available, by all means use water. The reason for incorporating this rice together with my tomato mix was that I wanted everything to mix and marry itself together. Now I introduced my water. I covered this up with foil paper because I wanted this rice to cook with the steam, and also I reduced the flame of my gas because of course I wanted everything to cook equally. After some time, I had to check up on the rice. Please be checking up on your rice so that a part don't burn and the other part don't burn. That is how jollof rice cooks. Now, to turn this rice evenly, you want to lift and turn. Please don't just go in and turn your rice anyhow. Lift and turn. This is so that the part where there is no water would go down and would cook evenly. Lift and turn your rice. And I covered this back up and also opened it again. Now this is what we have. I added in my onions just to get that fresh vibes. But if you don't like eating onions while having your food, please, you can skip this part. Our rice is almost ready and it was now time to smoke it properly. I increased the flame of my gas to smoke this and I covered it up properly. I left this for about 2 minutes to properly burn before finally turning off my gas. And mind you, I didn't just open my pot immediately. I actually left this food without flame for about 5 minutes so that the burnt part can incorporate together and get that flavorful burnt jollof rice. Then I finally opened it and this is what we have. Trust me when I say you don't have to use firewood to make smoky jollof. All you just need is your gas, and this was perfect. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next. Bye.